will you see, there's a tiny impression on the handle. It actually says belonging to the king in ancient Hebrew script and has a royal seal on it. This tiny broken piece takes us back to the time when the Bible was being written. To the days of the legendary First Temple, King David's son, Solomon, built to house the Ark of the Covenant over 3,000 years ago. This was the golden age of ancient Israel. Within a couple of hundred years, the Babylonians would overrun the land and destroy the First Temple. Jars like this were buried under a layer of utter destruction. This could have been the end of Israel's story. But, amazingly, in the face of obliteration, rather than disappearing, the people, their history, and the religious thought of biblical Israel would persist and even thrive. Here we stand below the famous Western Wall in Jerusalem, at the gate that once led pilgrims to the physical heart of ancient Judea, the Second Temple. Said to have been built in the 500s BCE, 50 plus years after the Babylonian exile on the same hill as the legendary First Temple. Another chapter in history and another ancient jar to illuminate our story. This one elaborately carved from a single chunk of limestone. 2,000 years ago, it likely held water to purify worshippers entering the Temple Mount to offer sacrifices to the God of Israel. A jar from the same place the New Testament tells us Jesus overturned the tables of the money changers. Today, the western outer wall is nearly all that remains of the once proud shrine of the ancient Jews after Romans destroyed Jerusalem and the Second Temple in 70 CE. Once more, the story of the Israelites could have ended as the Second Temple was demolished. But instead, we have a tale of survival, a saga of a people striving to uphold their contract or covenant with their God. And we had only scant details about that chapter until the amazing discovery of the third and final jar in our story. That's the Dead Sea. 35 miles from the temple in Jerusalem, about a day's walk by foot or pack animal, nearly 1,400 feet below sea level, the lowest elevation on earth, surrounded by desert. The same sands the Bible tells us Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob once walked. Sacred land, and it's here that one of the greatest archaeological discoveries of all time was made. The year was 1947, the eve of the founding of the modern state of Israel. Legend has it, a young Bedouin goat herder chased a stray goat into a cave near the Dead Sea. He threw a rock inside and heard pottery shattering. He returned the next day, disappointed, to find no treasure inside the cave, just a parchment scroll, animal skin wrapped in linen amid pieces of pottery. And this parchment had ancient Hebrew writing on it. Little did he know it was more valuable than any gold or gem ever found. You see, pots and coins are one thing, but finding ancient writing, that is truly miraculous. Paper and parchment disintegrate. They burn, animals eat them, and water and humidity destroy them. But not here, in the dry caves at the lowest point on earth. That scroll survived for 2,000 years until a shepherd who couldn't read it stumbled across a broken jar. His find led to nothing less than the oldest known copies of the Hebrew Bible, what Christians call the Old Testament. Bedouins and archaeologists found more scrolls and fragments of scrolls in other nearby caves. More than 900 scrolls hidden in the rugged terrain over 2,000 years ago as Romans conquered the land and destroyed the Second Temple. A vast library we now know as the Dead Sea Scrolls. You are about to view precious artifacts that connect us like links in a chain to the ancient past. Objects and words that speak to us from thousands of years ago. Words that have changed our world and gave birth to Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. It all began here inside Cave 1 along the shores of the Dead Sea, where the oldest surviving texts of the Hebrew Bible emerged from centuries in hiding with the simple shattering of a clay jar. Like this one. And now they are here for you to discover. Welcome to the Dead Sea Scrolls exhibition. Your journey continues through the curtain and to your left. Enjoy the